Hey boys and girls, today we are going to begin working on Windows into Words Lesson 17. I don't know about you, but it's hard for me to believe that we are already up to Lesson 17. There's only 20 lessons in this unit, so we are nearing the finish line. If you don't have your green Windows into Words folder handy, go grab it. If for some reason you've lost it or misplaced it during all this craziness, then you're going to need a sheet of notebook paper so you can write down the information I'm getting ready to share with you. Also below this list, you'll see a link to a master list of all the Chunky Monkey words and all the stems we've covered thus far this year. The first list is just a list of the words in the stem, so maybe you can have your parents call those out to you and help you study. And then the second list has the definitions with them. But go ahead and get a piece of paper or your green folder. Pause me if you need to go find that, and we will get started. All right, the first thing you need to know, boys and girls, is that today's stems are actually Greek stems. All the stems that we've done thus far have been Latin stems. Not a big difference as far as you're concerned. It just means that these stems originated in the country of Greece rather than being part of the Roman Empire and Latin stems, okay? So our first stem for today, boys and girls, is the stem archy, A-R-C-H-Y, and archy means government. Now remember, boys and girls, this is a stem, and a stem cannot stand alone, okay? So you cannot say the archy is working to solve the coronavirus problem, right? Nope, 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 right? Archy is a stem. It's part of a word, and that part means government. So here's some words that have archy in it. The first word, boys and girls, we're going to talk about is monarchy. Okay, a monarchy is a government that is ruled by one person. Okay, monarchy is a government that's ruled by one person, like a king or a queen. Okay, it's a monarchy. One person is in charge of the government. Okay. Another word that relates to this stem is the word oligarchy, Oligarchy. And an oligarchy is a government that's ruled by just a few people. So it's normally a leader and a few of their close colleagues. Just a few people are in charge of all the decisions. Okay, so that's called an oligarchy. The last word that we're going to talk about today is anarchy, and an means not. So anarchy means that it's totally lawless, that there's a lack of structure, organization, or government. It's just every man for themselves. Everybody does what they want to do. It's anarchy. There's no rules. It's just everybody does whatever they want to do. Okay. So again, boys and girls, your first Greek stem is archy, A-R-C-H-Y. It's archy, not archie. Archy, and it means government. And the three words we're going to talk about today with archy are monarchy, meaning one person rules, oligarchy, meaning a small group of people rules, and anarchy, where every man for himself. Nobody is exactly in charge. There's no rules. There's no law. Okay. All right, your next stem, boys and girls, we've talked about this one a lot, especially at the beginning of the year when we learned that by means to, and a lot of you suggested words with this stem in it, and I talked to you about the fact that we were going to look at it later in the year. Here we are, later in the year. So this stem is bio, B-I-O, meaning life. Okay, bio meaning life. So a few of the words we're going to talk about today with bio, one is biology, right? In high school, you're going to take a whole entire class in science entitled biology, okay? And that's going to be the study of life and living things. So you'll study animals and all the cells and organisms in them and how they work. And then you will also study plants, because plants are living things. Okay, that's all part of biology, the study of life, of living things. All right, the next word we're going to talk about, boys and girls, is biography, right? A biography is the story of someone's life, right? A biography. I know in third grade, y'all made timelines and read biographies about important people in history. And then many of you did the Wax Museum projects where you shared about that person's biography, about that person's life. Now here's the next one. This is a twofer. We have our next stem and our current stem in this word. So autobiography. Auto, you're getting ready to learn, means self. So an autobiography means that you yourself have written the story of your life. Okay, in a way, your narrative writing project is a small snippet of an autobiography. You're telling a story that happened to you in your life. You're doing it yourself. You're writing the story, and it's about a part of your life. So, an autobiography. Another science word that we don't have listed here is biome. And in fifth grade science, you're going to learn about all the different biomes on Earth. And a biome is it's a collection of life in a certain area. So you might study the desert biome and you'll look at the plants and animals that live there. And you might look at the biomes of a rainforest and the plants and animals that live there. And so it's an area of life within our Earth. Okay, so that is our second STEM for today, boys and girls, bio. Our third STEM, boys and girls, our window is the word auto. And auto, we just talked about this, means self. Okay. Auto means self. So the words we're going to talk about today related to auto, the first one is autograph, right? You're getting someone's autograph. They are signing it themselves. Our next word is autocracy, and autocracy is a word means kind of like monarchy, and it means that it is so it's a government kind of like a monarchy where the ruler makes all the decisions by him or herself. Okay, so an autocracy, that's that one person by themselves making all the decisions. It's similar to a monarchy. And then the last word we've already talked about today is autobiography. And so that is, again, yourself writing the story of your life. Okay. Another word kids often ask me about is automobile. And how automobile became related to self was that before the automobile was invented, people had to have horses or other living things to move their transportation, right? They had to have something else move it. And in the automobile, it was something that you could travel in by yourself, and that with the help of the machine, you could drive yourself. And so that's how automobile came to be connected to the autos part in the word automobile. Okay. All right, our next STEM, boys and girls, is cron, and we've talked about this one a lot this year. This should be easy peasy lemon squeezy. Cron, again, pronounced cron, almost like K-R-O-N, but it's spelled C-H-R-O-N. Cron means time, okay? And here, just got an email. Here's some cron words. The first cron word we're going to talk about today, boys and girls, is chronic. So chronic is something that lasts over time. So if you get strep throat is, remember, an acute sickness. Acute was one of our words earlier this year. It just lasts for a short amount of time. But chronic is an illness that lasts for a long period of time, or maybe an illness that you cannot get rid of. Okay, so chronic illness would be something like diabetes or cancer or some of these more long-term illnesses. Someone might have a chronic cough or emphysema because they did too much vaping and smoking, right? Chronic, it lasts over time. It's not something that can be fixed in a short amount of time. Okay, so chronic, an illness that lasts for a long time. Chronological, if you don't know this word, I don't know what to do, but chronological is when you're putting things in that time order, that sequence. This is what we're doing right now with our narrative writing, right? We're putting them in chronological order in that natural sequence that they happened according to time. This happened first, then this happened, then this last finally, so on and so forth. All right, our last cron word we're going to talk about today, boys and girls, is synchronize. Okay, sometimes if you watch like a mystery, you might have the characters want to synchronize their watches to make sure they're on the same time. If we had the Olympics this summer, which unfortunately it looks like we're not, then you would have the opportunity to watch synchronized divers or synchronized swimmers. And that means they do everything at exactly the same time. They do the exact same movement with their hands at the exact same time in the exact same way. And it's that timing piece. So they are synchronized. They're doing it at the exact same time. All right, boys and girls, our last STEM is a math STEM, and this is going to be some middle school knowledge I'm going to drop on you here, boys and girls. So DEC, D-E-C, DEC means 10. Okay, you don't have to know this when you do metric measurement. I just checked with Miss Boone. You don't have to know this in 4th or 5th grade, but you will learn it in middle school. So you'll be ahead of the game. So we've talked about a century is 100 years, and I know we've talked about this with most of you before. It's come up in our reading quite often, that a decade is 10 years. So most of you have lived a decade or almost a decade, right? So I have lived 4.5 decades, right? So a decade means 10 years. Dec means 10. All right. Here's some more mathematical knowledge for you. Decimal. How does decimal connect to 10? In math, our math system is a base 10 system. Miss Boone would be so proud of you, right? So decimal comes from the word des, meaning 10, right? Because we operate our math in a base 10 system. All right, the next word we're going to talk about is decimate. So decimate, the word to decimate now means to like wipe out or to destroy or to kill, to decimate something. It connects back to deaths because originally, back when there were big legions of armies during the Roman Empire, to decimate someone's army meant that you took out 1/10 of their army, 1/10 of their people, 1/10 of their animals, 1/10 of their weaponry, whatever it was, but you took out 1/10 of it, dec meaning 10. So decimate connects back to that old military term meaning to wipe out 1/10 of it. Over time, and we talk about this a lot, this word has changed and morphed to mean just to wipe out, okay? All right, and then the next word is another math word that you will talk about more in middle school, but a decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. A decimeter is 10 centimeters, okay? So a decimeter, right? Another math word there for you, boys and girls. Boys and girls, that's all we have for today. So make sure you've taken good notes. Tomorrow and the rest of this week, we will work on reviewing and making sure that we have these solid and in our pocket ready for our awesome knowledge of Windows into Words. I hope you have a great day. Remember, if you feel like you're struggling with memorizing these, then print out the list that I've attached and study those every day, okay? Have a great day, boys and girls.